Hello my Wolfpack and welcome back to another episode of our Pokemon Competitive Guide videos. So today we're covering Kingdra. Now Kingdra is such a fun Pokemon to use. It has base 95 in all of its stats except, base 95 in most of its stats except HP, which is 75, and speed, which is 85. Now obviously base 95 is pretty nice in the majority there. Speed is a little bit lackluster, but it can still work quite well. Now we've got 3 sets for you today, so let's just jump straight in. The first set being one that you'll typically see, the Sniper Scope Lens Focus Energy. So Scope Lens increases the critical hit ratio by 1 stage. Sniper increases your critical hit from 1.5 times damage to 2.25 times damage, which is absolutely huge. And think about it, if you put Stab on top of that as well, that is just an incredibly powerful move to use. And then we've got Focus Energy, again, increasing up your critical hit ratio. So with that combination, after Focus Energy, I believe you should be hitting critical hits 100% of the time, I believe. It might not be 100%, but it is very high. And move-wise, I've gone for Hydro Pump, powerful water-type attack, hits a variety of different Pokemon, and is boosted by Stab as well. Dragon Pulse, strong Dragon-type attack, hits a variety of different Pokemon. I would go for Dragon Pulse over Draco Meteor on here because you're obviously going to see your special attack dwindle down if you use Draco Meteor, and the whole point of this is having those critical hits there. So unless you want to go for like the one and done, you have to switch out and kind of come back in and set up the Focus Energy again, I'd recommend going with Dragon Pulse. And then finally Ice Beam, just to hit a variety of different Pokemon, including Dragon types. Not that you can't without the Dragon Pulse, but you've got the Ice Beam there just for a bit more coverage on different Pokemon, such as like grass types that can be a pain. Now, EVs, there are a couple of ways of running this. You can run this as max special attack and max speed with a timid nature, so more speed, less attack, trying to be as fast as you possibly can. Or if you're wanting to be a bit more conservative and get hit a few times but live those hits, you could go max HP and max special attack with a modest nature. So it's up to you what you want to do based on your speed tiers, based on what roles you have for Pokemon already, based on what you want Kingdra to do as well. The second set we have is a Dragon Dance set. Now on here I have put the Lumberry, which goes really well with the Outrage, and I'll explain this more in just a second. I've put Swift Swim as the ability. You could always go for things like Sniper as well, Sniper if you wanted to. Damp is such a situational ability. I would never really run Damp, honestly, unless you're kind of planning for it in a draft league, but I think having a ghost type on your team is always going to be better than Damp. So on here we've got Dragon Dance, increasing up your attack and your speed by 1 stage each time you use it. Obviously that speed will become a lot better at +1, and as well as the attack. Whilst 95 is really good, it could be a little bit better. We've then got Liquidation, powerful water type move that hits a variety of different Pokemon, boosted by Stab. We've got Iron Head to hit those fairies, because honestly fairies can be a huge pain in the butt. And then we've got Outrage. Now, Outrage is a very powerful Dragon-type attack, but it does lock you in for 2 to 3 turns, and you do get confused afterwards. And that's the whole reason for the Lumberry. Now, if you are worried about that, I'm trying to look for an alternative. You can go for Body Slam if you wanted to. Just seeing if it learns Dragon Rush. It doesn't learn Dragon Rush, so unfortunately, kind of, if you want a Dragon-type move, Outrage is your only option, and it can work, but obviously if there are fairies there, it does make Outrage fairly risky to go for. So you have other options at kind of some different variety moves like Body Slam. You have Facade, even Flip Turn is an option here, although you probably don't necessarily want to go for Flip Turn, considering you are setting up. And yeah, that's basically it. So you could go for a normal type move instead of the Dragon type if you want to. Now, EVs go for max attack and max speed with an Adamant nature, so more attack, less special attack. You could go for Jolly if you want to, but I think Adamant's going to work in more scenarios, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, I think Adamant's just the better choice overall there. And finally, we have got a Dynamax set. On here, I've put the choice specs. Now, if you don't know, when you're Dynamax, your choice specs are not activated. But movesets we have here, we have Clear Smog. Now, Clear Smog can be beneficial because it can take away the setups of any Pokemon. So let's say that you've had a Horlucha come in that's Swords Dance, for example. That Clear Smog will get rid of that Swords Dance effect. So setting up obviously becomes a bit more of a problem for the opposing team. And not to mention, when you Dynamax, this turns into Max Ooze, increasing up your special attack stat by 1 stage. We've then got Surf, which can set up the Rain, I couldn't think of it. You set up the rain, and obviously that activates your Swift Swim, so you're doubling in speed. And you could run the Damp Rock on here instead of the choice specs if you wanted to, if you want to make sure you have that speed for 8 turns. That is definitely an option, and it's up to you. We've got Flash Cannon, which will turn to Max Steel Spike, increasing up your defense. And again, that hits fairy types for super effective damage. And finally, we've got Draco Meteor, that'll turn into Max Wormid. I think it's Wormid, that's how you say it. I don't know. It'll reduce down the attack stat of the opposing Pokemon, but it's also a very powerful attack boosted by Stab. Now, Draco Meteor, obviously, after Dynamax, is going to be something that you could risk using. Obviously, if you want to go for Dragon Pulse, you definitely can go for that. EVs come for max special attack and max speed with a modest nature, so more special attack and less attack, and 4 EVs and special defense. So I think definitely having the Clear Smog and the Surf on here would be beneficial. Maybe even Hydro Pump if you decide to go for that, but those will work really well for you in combination with the Swift Swim and increasing up your special attack, so you should be able to sweep. Anyways, that is all for today, so I hope you've enjoyed this. If you have, please do like, subscribe, and comment. Let me know what you think down in the comment section below. Anyways, I'm out of here, so have a good one, and I'll see you soon.